He's dreaming of some white privilege, just like the HuffPost said he had. In popcorn tins he was pissing. As a child he would listen to his mom shout, freak out in locked rooms. He's dreaming of some white privilege. With every dumpster he would dive. His early days weren't merry or bright. When digging ditches on construction sites.
Erik Griffin in studio. ErikGriffin.com is where you go for all the live days. I've seen the man do stand-up. He is fantastic. So do not deprive yourself of that experience.
Thank you, sir.
I also want to say this, which I forgot about, but no, tell me where you're at. I've been flying fair bit of Southwest recently.
Really?
Lots of delays.
Lots
of delays. I'm the people's comedian. Well, you want to go out of Burbank.
Yeah.
And
the convenience.
The convenience of Burbank means you are Southwest.
Everyone.
And the last few Southwest flights I've had, I don't mind a flight delay. I don't mind the flight delay where they tell you there's a flight delay, because that means I'm just going to sit at the sports bar here in Burbank and have another beer and watch a thing.
But
don't load me on this goddamn plane.
Yes.
They load you on the plane, and our delay was so long 2 weeks ago, we had to come back and get more fuel because we'd been idling for so long. Then another hour out of Burbank last time. Then, okay. I got a lot to get to. But first, let me ask you this. So you're on the plane, but not only are you on the plane, but there is no beverage service or any kind of service because we're waiting. This is an active runway. This is an active taxiway. And I'm like, get the fucking card out. If we're going to be sitting here for 90 minutes, give me a Miller Lite. We're just hanging out. We're not doing anything. No, it's active. So you just have to sit there. Then you get up in the sky and they go, it's going to be a short 37-minute flight to whatever. And you go, great. And then at some point, and I believe, you tell me if you think this is a ruse or not. At this point, I had my last beer at the sports bar at the Burbank airport, and that was 2.5 hours ago now. Mm-hmm. I just want a Miller Lite. I'm just sitting there. And they do this thing, and they're climbing out, and they go, it's a very short 39-minute flight into McCarran in Vegas. And then the pilot goes, it's going to be a little turbulence, so I went and instructed the crew just to stay put. And you're like, oh, okay. All right, there better be some fucking wind shear. Like, I'm praying for wind shear. Yeah. We flew all the way. There was no turbulence. He just thought there might be some, or he didn't. This is a good way to save.
The crew's bummed on
Just hang out, ladies. Don't push this cart up and down in this fashion. You only got 39 minutes here. Yes, they do it a lot now. They go, we're experiencing some bumps on the safety concerns. I told the flight attendants, go ahead and stay strapped into the jump seats. You don't hit any turbulence. You realize, I've been in this plane for 3 hours and 15 minutes now. I didn't get one fucking pretzel. Yeah. That's where we're at.
So frustrating. My frustration is when you're waiting in the plane, not on the runway, on the gate. Like when you're at the runway, at least you know there's something going on that's stopping us from taking off. But when they board the plane and you're sitting there and you're like, what the heck? It's been an hour. What's going on with this plane? Right? And then they'll say something like, yeah, there's some sort of mechanical, like, hey, don't board the plane.
Yes, I agree.
Until all the mechanical shit has been handled. Okay? Because then it makes me go, what's going on here?
Well, that was on the way out.
Foresight?
That was
no,
on the
I'm
way.
saying like,
They
is there
know.
some safety checks or some kind of thing going on?
There are, but it's
Then board the plane. All I'm saying
No,
is
what I'm sorry. What I'll tell you what you're dealing with. What you're dealing with here is what you deal with Hollywood all the time. You know, you go, oh, you're going to do Byron Allen's Funny You Should Ask show. You know, they go, what time's the call time? 9 a.m. And you go, okay, 9 a.m. Yeah, 9 a.m. Then you show up at 9 a.m. Byron shows up at 11:15, and it's like, why do I have to get here at 9 a.m.? And they go, well, we want eyes on you. They just want to know where you are. They just want to know where you are. And so I always go, look, don't forget about what time. Forget about what time you want me there. What time are we taping? Yeah. Oh, we're not taping until 11:30. Okay, then I'll backtrack it. I'll do the math. I feel like most businesses are this way. Just get on the plane. Now we know where you are, and we don't really care if you sit there for an hour and a half. We know where you are.
Today I dealt with this.
Today.
Let me tell you, I had to Uber here today because I was at a doctor's appointment with my wife. You know, we're 33 weeks pregnant. Okay, and the appointment was at 11. The doctor didn't come in till 12 something. So I actually had to leave.
Wow.
I had to leave to get here in an Uber. My wife's actually outside. She just tracked me and was like, I'm here to pick you up. And I was like, oh, thanks, you know. But, like, what I'm saying is, like, I hate that. Like, when I go to the doctor, you tell me to be there at 11, I almost want to do like this now. I want to call at 10:30, mark me as there.
Right.
yeah.
I'm driving.
Mark me as there. So when I walk in the goddamn door, I want that doctor to be like, and you're next.
That'd be nice.
I walked out of the room to be like, babe, I gotta go. The doctor's walking down the hall on his cell phone. I just, oh, hi. I said, yeah, I gotta go. She's like, I'm gonna be right in. I'm like to myself, like, there's there's certain professions like this can't happen. What I hate too is like, you know, you're flying, right? You got a connection, which is annoying, right? Don't have my connection be 20 minutes in between. United Airlines does this all the time. You know, you're getting to Denver and your next flight is, you know, 30 minutes. Then now when you're in the airport at LAX and they're doing that whole like, oh, we got a mechanical. Now you're looking at your thing like, am I going to make my connection flight?
Missed one the other week.
Yeah, like, am I going to make my connection?
Right.
There's no regard.
Oh, listen, now flying out of Vegas last week, flight gets kicked back about 20, 25 minutes. Fine, who cares? Get on the flight, and they're like, Air Force One is landing.
Oh, yeah.
And all airspace is restricted, and we can't go anywhere until Biden gets off the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, what is Biden even doing fundraising at this
I have an answer for you, but
at this stage? And then I thought of my answer that wouldn't apply to me, McCarran, but he then comes out to Los Angeles. Eric, I want to know what you think of this idea. It's the greatest win-win ever. All the presidents, well, the Democrats come out to L.A. I don't think the Republicans do. But I remember Obama came out, and then he's going to Barbara Streisand's house in Malibu, and they got to close every road and put the birds in the air, and you can't get down to 10 because of the motorcade.
He's got to go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles on Pico.
Right.
So we can't even get around there.
And it's at 5 in the afternoon on a Thursday. You know, they got to lock down. Like, we don't have enough problems. I would say, why are we doing these fundraisers at George Clooney's house or at Spielberg's house in Beverly Hills? You got to get through LAX to Beverly Hills. You got to go right through the heart of the city. They got to lock down everything. It's a total shit show. Have the fundraiser at the hangar in the airport, and you get to go on to Air Force One, 10 at a time. You know what I mean? You paid you paid $80,000. You sit with Obama, you do some meet and greets, you get some dinner, and then at some point we break you off into groups of 10 and you walk on to Air Force One. These guys they've been to Spielberg's house a million times. They've never been on Air Force One, and we don't have to shut the city down. Yeah. You just fly in, put some velvet ropes out, make it nice.
Take everybody to Chili's too.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean?
Yes.
And then we're ready to go.
No shutting down the city.
Yeah.
And the president doesn't have to leave and do the whole 4-hour motorcade either. He just gets back onto Air Force One when they're done and they leave.
This happens a lot in Vegas. This happened to me too.
Really?
But there was a great flight attendant. The people are getting on the plane and they're taking their time to pick it was on a Southwest flight. you know. And the lady went on the thing. She goes, "Hey, everybody, you're not picking out furniture.
Right.
I need you to get and sit down because we're not going to be able to leave because of Air Force One." And everybody was like, and then there was like those people who were like, "All right, you know, I want to get home."
Yes.
When you're leaving Vegas, there's a lot of like energy of like, "Hey, I just lost all my money at the blackjack table. Or I just shouldn't have come on this trip," or whatever your thing is, and you want to get home. But I like that idea. I think they should have some sort of like presidential hangar. You have all your parties and stuff there. They can make it look fancy, and then boom, you're out.
And you pull Air Force One right up in there, and people get a firsthand look at Air Force One. All right, let's do some news.
A lot
Chris.
of security issues.
Well,
There we go.
And by the way, Southwest, you're heading out into Vegas. They should have made it good. A roadie on the way out. Here's your Miller Lite.
Yes.
Walk out with it.
I agree.
But the reason Biden was in Vegas is because he was announcing that they were going to be spending a few more $1 billion on some high-speed rails. So
yeah.
So
High-speed rails where?
Well, what?
They've been talking about
They've
it
been
since
talking
I was
about
in
it.
junior
What
high.
happened to Elon's tunnel? What happened to all that stuff?
Elon's tunnel is in Vegas.
It's under like the convention.
It goes under the convention center.
I think he got bored, you know?
It's
Literally.
actually called
The Boring Company.
Oh, okay. Well, because I thought this was going to be some big, you know, underground tunnels all over LA and everything.
People were talking about they're going to go through the Sepulveda Pass, you know. We're gonna, and I'm like,
that would have been a better use of that $44 billion, don't you think?
Yes.
Of course. Well, but Biden was in Vegas, so they said that they'll give another $3.1 billion to boost the early phase of the high-speed rail connecting Merced, Fresno, Bakersfield, running through the Central Valley.
That's going to be a game changer.
All the way to LA, too?
Well, they still got to fix the Central Valley.
Why haven't they done this, Adam? Why don't we have a bullet train from LA to frickin' Vegas that takes like what? A bullet train would take what? What tops?
They say 2 hours on the one they're doing, but a bullet train could do it faster than that.
But even if it's 2 hours, that is faster than the process of going to the airport, going through security, getting on a plane, landing, getting your luggage, whatever. Like it would be
not only that, but train travels infinitely better than a Southwest flight.
Yeah.
You can walk to the bar car, get a drink, sit
What are we
down,
talking
sit
about?
across from the person.
It would
And the
change-
Vegas, my idea for the Vegas one is they would have slots on the train, and the second they crossed a magnetic strip buried in the Nevada border, as soon as it crossed, it light up like a Christmas tree. Like
that's when the money.
People at like 41 minutes into the trip would be standing around the slots, you know what I mean?
The front of the
Waiting
train?
with the dice like this. Come on.
Prostitutes would fall down from the ceiling. It's like as soon as you cross Nevada, it would just light up like a Christmas tree, the whole train.
That sort of transportation.
Free drinks.
That sort of transportation would, one, change California. It would change, because if you could get from LA to Vegas in 2 hours and it was going 24 hours a day, you would not need to live in LA.
Yeah, or I could get a job as a blackjack dealer in Vegas and just commute.
That's
you know?
what I'm saying. That's like what I'm
Carolla
saying.
doing?
Like, it's like what
He's working at Binion's.
that would be. How awesome would it be? You go to the blackjack table and you're like, there would be a part of you like, is that Adam Carolla?
Yeah, you know, comedy pays some bills, but don't pay all of them.
Yeah.
It's just a dream. Now that will be his Christmas dream. He was like, I always wanted to be a blackjack dealer in Vegas.
Well, my dream is to correct people, and that point, you know, every casino has their own rules. Like you put the chip down on top of the cars, like, sir, put the chip next to the car. When you want to hit, some of them's like tap,
you know
the
what?
others like eye contact.
I
like,
just realized you couldn't be a blackjack dealer because you are so obsessed with the minutia of things.
what's with the mouthpiece?
Yeah. You would be over there like, sir, can you not hold your cards that way? You know, it would be a whole thing. The one round.
Oh,
would
I
take
could never
like
do it
20 minutes.
because no, I would be blackjack dealer, and I'd have a 3 showing, and I'd have some drunk guy hitting with 19, and I'd go, really? I can't, by law, I have to take this card and I have to hand it to you. But if I were you,
And then the casino guy would come over and be like, Adam, can I speak to you in my office for a second, please?
right, the pit boss,
The pit boss would
There'd be
come
a
over.
lot of
Adam,
pit
can I?
boss.
Because you, what are you doing? You know,
and I'd go, you're not the pit boss of me, bro. I'll get on this goddamn train and go back to NoHo.
yeah.
I'll be there in less than 2 hours.
That would be. I don't know. But isn't it just like red tape? Isn't it just California red tape? Why we haven't got this bullet train done?
Trust me when I tell you, I grew up in this town, and I remember in high school sitting at my desk talking about the train that we were going to build from L.A. to Vegas. In high school, we were having that conversation 40 years ago.
And by the way, there isn't a train, right? Like you can't even get on an Amtrak and go, right?
No, what it is, all right, here's what's going on with trains. Trains are a metaphor for successful European and Asian cultures. And California fancies itself that, like a progressive, Eurocentric, and they go, oh, I came back from Europe. They have high-speed rail. It's beautiful. It's clean. It works.
Yeah.
In Japan, they have the bullet train. And we go, that's evolution. That's what we need. And then we come back and we pitch it, and it doesn't work. We can't pull it off.
It's red tape.
Yes.
It doesn't make any sense. It would be so like beautiful. Even a train going from L.A. to San Francisco to like that's like zip, zip, zip. I mean, imagine being able to live in like San Jose or all the different places, San Luis Obispo.
Yes.
Imagine you can live in San Luis Obispo but work in L.A. because there's a 30-minute bullet train that goes every hour.
And you can work on the train. I mean, it's perfect.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
What are we doing in this state?
So
man?
the LA to San Francisco train, so I mean that cost because of the overruns and the delays swelled to over $100 billion. So they're not doing it anymore. We're just keeping it in Central Valley from Merced to San Francisco.
we're not even doing that?
But in France, in France, they're doing this kind of stuff at a fraction of the cost that we're doing. Like, other places they don't have this kind of red tape. They just go, we're going to make this, it's going to go. But in this thing, it's all glad handing, and it's like, well, who's the contractors, and what's the what city is this going through?
The Sierra Club.
Yeah, they got to get all this
indigenous species.
Yeah. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other thing, man.
So, but I say we're not doing that. I mean, it's just so far on the back burner now because they're now just going to focus on let's see what we have and let's do it there. So they're going Merced to San Francisco. That cost is going to be about just for that is $35 billion.
Yeah.
And so they just got another $3 billion. So about $25 billion has been secured altogether.
Yeah, but is this money sitting in a Bank of America checking account? Where's the money? You know what I mean? Like it should be earning interest at this point. Whatever the initial $100 billion, somebody get a calculator. They could have had $100 billion in a savings account 25 years ago, earning 4%. What kind of money would they have now to do this? Like, where's this money? Like, you know what it is? We're so blissfully ignorant and silent now that we just kind of like are just going on with our lives and all this nonsense is happening. And then occasionally someone will be like, my tax dollars. But do you really know or care?
No, we're all complicit and
we're
all soft
exactly. We're complicit in all of this nonsense.
I don't know why they brag. They always go, these are shovel-ready jobs. Like shoveling sounds like the worst job in the world that people have been doing for 2 million years.
Yeah, and who do you think's doing that work?
Oh, rich, white. Oh, no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Shovel-ready.
Well, anyway, so the Vegas rail. So they said that they're going to break ground next year.
Oh,
I read the article.
$3 billion
They said
federal grant.
we break ground.
Breaking ground? It's nothing from here to Vegas. It's nothing. What ground are they breaking?
They got to break ground, and they said the completion date is going to be one day after Adam Carolla dies. That's what I heard. So they don't know exactly that date, but they said we will. That's like when Adam dies. That'll be the inaugural run. That'll be when we run it.
Yeah, he's like Pete Rose. You know what I mean? In terms of like the day Pete Rose dies is the day he will be put into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what they said. Yeah. When Pete Rose and Adam Carolla die, that's when
we're going to get the bullet train and Hall of Fame.
So you're the one holding it up, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, just a completion date. They could have started whenever they wanted.
Yeah. And it's going to leave from Rancho Cucamonga.
Wait. What?
Yep.
Yeah, they said so. The Bright Line West train will travel from Rancho Cucamonga to Vegas.
So you can sit in your car for 2.5 hours and drive to Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah. You know, this is a thing.
Time.
This is a thing too. It's all about money. Like even in Vegas, it makes no sense that there isn't a tram that goes from the airport.
Mm-hmm.
You get your bags. You get in the tram after you get off the plane. And that stupid tram takes you right on the strip to every single freaking hotel.
Yes.
So, like, when it's time to go home, you just go, all right, you get on the train, and it takes you right to United. Takes you right to, wherever you're going, right to Southwest, whatever it is. They don't want to do that because then, here's you get me on a tangent here, Adam,
Please.
because I love this. You know what? In Vegas now, when you get into a cab, okay, they have a city law now that it's a certain price based off of where you're going on the Strip. So now there's no nonsense when you get into the cab. You get into the cab now. Before you would get into the cab and they'd be like, what route you want me to take?
Oh yeah, or like I know a back route.
Yeah, because they know the freeway's better because they know they were scamming us this whole time.
Yes.
So now you get into the cab and they don't even ask. They go, they got it because they got to get the next fare. They got an extra fare. So it's like it's all this. Like anytime money's involved in this kind of stuff, it's never about efficiency. It's never about quality of life. It's all about somebody's pockets.
Yeah, man. Well, that's the American way, and we've at least.
And we're thriving on it.
Yeah.
At least we know. Now we know.
All right, what else you got?
So Jada Pinkett-Smith.
Proud woman.
Have we had enough of her yet? I mean,
You know what? We gotta like Chris Rock is the new marriage counselor for the stars.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, really? Something going on?
Oh, she said that the slap.
This is right. You go ahead.
Yeah, she said that Chris Rock, Will slapping Chris Rock has saved their marriage.
That's right. She's calling it the holy slap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because she says that so many positive things came after it. And she realized after that slap, she will never leave her husband.
Wow.
This is the like, go away. You know what I mean? Like, go away.
Yeah,
there is like you basically have zero interest in anything positive about their lives or what they're doing. I don't care what Will Smith movie is coming out. I don't care what she's doing. The whole thing is about their crazy relationship. The fact that they weren't together for 7 years, you go, why did you slap him?
yeah.
It makes zero sense.
Everything's tainted now too.
Oh.
I mean, and Will Smith, like I can't. Will Smith movie comes out, I can't.
I can't even support the guy. I loved Jimmy Kimmel on what the last Oscars, the one right after how he was really like, I like how you guys, just do the same thing, do nothing, and then celebrate the assailant an hour later. Like right. That whole. It's like it's the whole Oscars audience was those college presidents.
Yes. Yes. It's a good analogy.
Yeah.
They were all the college presidents just being like, oh, yeah.
We don't know.
All right, can we agree on this?
I'm sorry, I can't go on a tangent.
No, you're right. Jada Pinkett-Smith. There's 3 people I never want to hear from again. I don't want to hear from her.
Love this list. Go.
Yeah. Sofia Vergara.
Done with her.
Done with her talking. Done with her.
Done with her.
Heidi Klum, not
Bye.
another syllable.
Yeah.
Walk around, look good, shut up. Every time I watch those entertainment shows, one of those 3 women is chiming in about something. I'm done.
Yeah.
And Jada. For me, it's Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Get out of my life, okay? They should have a reality show about them trying to get back together because who cares?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Done. Jada Pinkett-Smith.
With how good AI is getting, you should be able to just mute people from your life, right? Like every time they come on the TV, your TV just goes on mute.
That's a good.
When you delete, it's like when you delete someone from your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It should just be goodbye.
They're gone.
Yeah.
They're poof, they're gone from your life.
They are at the top of the food chain for the weirdest couple ever to exist.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have to be, right? But then, like, all the things she kept coming out with. It's so crazy. And then that guy, did you see that video of the guy talking about how he walked in on Will Smith and the guy?
There's some.
The way that guy is talking about it, I was like, are you jealous? But just the way.
You know this, Adam?
Oh, you haven't heard the guy?
Oh,
he's like,
his
he
old
was like,
assistant
it was
supposedly-
murder.
Having gay
like,
sex.
Yeah, he was like, he was murdering Will. And I just think to myself, like, at this day and age, in 2023, honestly, who cares if someone's gay? Yeah. Like, for real.
No,
There's
nobody
been
cares.
there is. So there's been some weird stuff going on. Will's old assistant said that he was gay and he walked in on having gay sex. Like there was like an Usher thing, like a leaked phone call where somebody said Usher was gay, and like, oh, you think that?
Just looking at him, but all right.
But I'm saying is like at this point right now, let's say it's true. Would we really care if Will Smith comes on? Like if he had he's with his wife, TMZ's like, Will, what do you think about this? He was like, I did a lot of wild stuff. You know, I did a lot of wild stuff back in the day, but thanks for asking. I mean, and then he just moves on. Where would we go after that?
Well, let me explain the phenomenon.
Who would care?
I'm going to explain the phenomenon.
Preach.
It's the Lance Bass phenomenon.
Oh, right.
We think he's gay for a decade, but he won't say it. The second he says I'm gay, we all go, all right, we're done, and we move on.
You gotta tease it a little bit.
Nobody cares that Lance Bass is gay. We care that we're not calibrated. Like it's like how women act. Like you know what it's like. Bill Gates' wife and how she acted with Epstein. You know, she's like, I knew that guy was creepy. I knew it. I would say it. You know, it's like what if you're ever with a woman and she gets creeped out by some guy or some woman, she goes, I don't like that person. You go, what do you mean? They're a great couple. And then at some point later on, it turns out they embezzled and they were into some weird shit.
Now
and then your woman always goes, I knew it.
Confirmed.
I knew it. It's like a feeling.
Never liked them.
It's an instinct they have. So like when we have an instinct that Lance Bass is gay and he won't say anything, it bugs the shit out of us. And the second he says he's gay, we don't care.
All right, moving on. Yeah.
Moving on. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a lot of weird, like in the black community, like Will Smith, Usher, Dwight Howard stuff came out. You hear all like,
oh yeah,
all that stuff too.
Well, Dwight Howard said he's doing a podcast, and he's like, I have stories to tell.
Oh, Dwight Howard's gay?
Well, I mean, there's all these stories about him like.
Well, it's not even just. Here's what happened. I think like there was a guy that was trying to sue him or whatever, and I think that in the process he had to admit it was consensual.
Yeah.
So
there's some Obama gay stuff. There's a lot of crazy black gay stuff out there. I don't know.
Sounds like a book Adam's writing.
Yeah. But
crazy black stuff coming out. Adam Carolla, right?
I think it's more taboo in the black community, so that's why it's a bigger deal.
More scandalous.
But by the way, though, I totally understand if you're like, let's just pick Dwight Howard, for instance.
Okay.
You're Dwight Howard. You're gay. You just want to be Dwight Howard. Sometimes you don't want to be now the spokesperson for a community.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Sometimes you just want to be like, can I just play ball and like, if I want to go suck off, whatever, it's my thing. But now it's not now you have to be not just the basketball player. You have to now be the gay basketball player.
Mm.
And so I understand why people would be like, because even Lance Bass had talked about that. He was gay. Hey, everybody knew. They knew. He was like, can I stop doing this now? Are we breaking up so I could go be gay?
Yeah.
Because it's like all the girls that liked NSYNC. It was like, NSYNC, oh my God. He was like, okay, I guess I can't be gay in this group. But he's like, all right. I'm just saying, it's like, I think we live in a time now where like, even when somebody's like, hey, you're gay, he's like, okay, why are you saying that? Like, what's okay? You go yes or no.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Right? It doesn't matter.
No.
I think we're more upset. Be more upset if like that comes out and then Will Smith is just being like, we're suing him and all this kind of stuff.
That's what they said.
I don't think it's really. I think it should just more be like, it's like whatever. Let's just not talk about it. Let it go away. That's what it's going to be your playbook.
Quiet.
Just be quiet.
Right.
Let it go away. We're never going to hear about it again.
Tips. Stay silent.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here. So also Angelina Jolie, she did a interview saying that she's going to leave Hollywood. Mm-hmm. She's done in Hollywood. She just doesn't like the public scrutiny. Mm-hmm. She says she wouldn't have been an actress today had she gone out if she started in 2023. Mm-hmm. It's just too much in the public life. She's just coming off a divorce. Her kids are in college.
She did. Have lots of photo ops of her wearing vials of Billy Bob Thornton's blood and like making out with her biological brother
enjoy the public.
on a red carpet. Like there are ways. Like you know what I would say, Jodie Foster. I never know where the fuck she is. I don't know where she's avoided TMZ.
Thank you.
She doesn't go to the Ivy and step out in front of tour buses and stuff.
How about Billy Bob Thornton? like no one.
Love him.
This guy's probably the greatest actor ever. I don't know where he is.
No. And if
he's not on
I don't
Instagram,
know what he's thinking all the
I don't know
time.
what he's thinking. It doesn't matter. Political shit happens, and we know Billy Bob Thornton says Trump. No, we don't care.
And I like that I don't care.
Yes.
So the point is there is a way to avoid the scrutiny of the paparazzi, but you have to work at it a little bit. Hence, Jodie Foster.
I don't know if you have to work
Oh, you don't have
at
to work at it. But look, when someone says, hey, you want to go to dinner Saturday night? And they go, how about Craig's or the Ivy? You go, how about we keep it local in Malibu? And then you go out to dinner. There's a way to do it.
By the way, I love when people I love when someone like that is like, well, I'm retiring from Hollywood. No, I think Hollywood retired from you.
Yes, there's that.
You know,
too.
there's a certain thing. It's like, yeah, we're not clamoring for an Angelina Jolie project anymore, which I think is the real issue.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes,
Okay.
I agree.
Like if she was, like Helen Mirren, who's like this like very elegant, glamorous woman who like is still working in her 80s. It's like just be that person now.
Well,
I think a lot of people don't know how to not be super famous anymore. It's like someone like Madonna. Madonna's like, women over 45 aren't being celebrated. Like, first of all, you're 60.
yeah.
Okay, so let's be 100.
That'd be like me going, guys who got under 2,000 on the SATs, you got 400, Carolla.
Yeah.
Well, that's under.
Yeah. So it's like what I'm saying is like at a certain point it's like, no, you're being celebrated. You're celebrated. You're known by a single name. You're the most famous, popular singer, female singer of all time. You're celebrated. It's just not celebrated in the same way that it was. I think it's hard for someone who was like that famous, that sexually desired too, that you perpetuated too.
Are you talking about yourself now?
But I'm saying like, Angelina Jolie was like, she was the one,
Yeah.
She was the sexiest woman ever. And she led it. She leaned into it. We weren't like, it wasn't this like, oh, she's not going to show or no, she's like, nah, this is who I am. I'm doing this. You turned 40. You turned 42. You got kids who are like older now. You're like, you know what? I'm not that person anymore. We're okay with that. Move on with your life. You're like a professional athlete who turned 35 and can't dunk anymore. You know what I mean? You move on.
But she's going to like Cambodia or something, right?
is, yeah.
Fine. But what I'm saying is like,
She'll be back.
yeah, it's like, you know what else? I don't need the announcement.
That's a good point.
We already know you retired because
Yeah, she already has a home in Cambodia. Just go.
just get out of here. Just live your life. I would love to hear in 15 years. Remember Angelina Jolie? Yeah, she's got a farm in Cambodia and she's like, helping the environment and whatever she's doing. We'd be like, oh, that's awesome for her. That sounds like a great way to, But the fact that you have to make all these announcements.
Yeah, you're right. Don't make the announcement.
I don't need your
Just go to
announcement. Just get the
Cambodia.
fuck out of her life.
Cambodia.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree. All right. What else?
So a lot of people talking about Patrick Mahomes today.
Oh, yeah, he's upset.
He's upset. So during his handshake, the after game handshake with like Josh Allen, they're greeting each other, and Patrick is just complaining about that last offsides call. Saying
Yeah.
it was like the worst effing call he's ever seen. We have the video, but let's just watch. You can hear Mahomes complaining during the handshake.
Yeah, he was fired up. It was a crazy, great play. And I'm going to ask
competitive.
Erik, what is the neutral zone?
I have no idea, dude.
Nobody knows what the neutral zone is because it doesn't exist. There's an end zone and there's a playing field, and then there's a sideline and there's a playing field. There is no neutral zone sideline.
Oh, right,
And there's
right.
no neutral zone end zone. Did he get into the end zone or is he in the field of play? There's a line of scrimmage. One side of it, you're
Yes.
fine. The other side of it, you're offside.
And it's
What
saying-
neutral zone
and
are
saying-
you in?
Oh, no, there is a.
What is the neutral zone?
There's the players can't be touching each other.
Right.
So like the offensive line and defensive line can't touch each other. That neutral zone is that area. There's like a foot long area between where they have to line up.
But
there's a line of scrimmage, and the defense has to be, I believe, a foot off of that, and there has to be a certain number of players on that line for the offense.
Well,
for,
the ball's the ball.
Yeah.
And defense can't be on the other side of the tip of the ball. But they can be as close to the tip as they want. They just can't be they can't break the tip
They
of the
can't
ball.
break. Oh, but I think the offense is the one that has to have. You can only have a certain number of players on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so
I don't
maybe
know
that's
why.
the neutral zone.
But
I
that's
get
the
what you're
neutral
saying,
zone.
but what's his name's foot wasn't in the neutral zone. It was on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Tommy.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the play or just want to watch the handshake?
The play is great. We'll just watch the handshake.
Okay,
though.
here's the handshake.
Longest fucking call I've ever seen, man.
Worst fucking call I've ever seen.
Offensive offsides in that moment, man. Fucking terrible.
Good. He's pissed. That's a
People are
competitor.
saying he's a baby about it. Like, yeah, actually, his likability rating has went down.
Well, okay.
Yeah, but people that know him and talk about him already know he is this kind of a competitive guy.
Right.
Listen, the narrative on someone I don't care about. And what I love about sports is a meritocracy. I don't care what kind of person you are. I don't, if you're the quarterback of my fantasy team, I don't want to hear about your personal life. That's on him.
Yeah.
He's the one out with his wife doing shows and like doing this, like, hey, I'm this guy. That's who he is.
Yes.
He's a competitive monster, and that's
Also,
why we like him.
Not only you get the loss, but he just threw a ball that traveled 14 yards in the air and got a TD. He would get a TD on his record for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody I hit a home run in high school that traveled down the track at North Harvard High. There was no fence. It just kept going. And I just rounded the bases. And they said I missed third base, and they called me out at third base.
Oh.
But
Oh, no.
it doesn't go in the books as a home run with an out on third base. It goes in the books as hitting a double. I didn't like my home run that should have been in the book
Right.
downgraded to a double, and his home run got downgraded to an out.
Yeah.
So that sucks. And the
lost
next
the
game,
game.
I went to Fairfax. I hit a triple, and they threw me out at first base. Same thing. It's the
You
craziest
gotta start
story ever.
tagging the bases, man.
That triple turned into an out. That's what I'm saying. But now here's the thing, and I was saying this. Remember in baseball, you used to be able to turn a double play and straddle second base.
Yeah.
The shortstop or second baseman would straddle, wouldn't touch second base, they'd straddle second base. And they just called it a double play. Now I think you have to touch it. The rule is either make a rule or don't make a rule. If the rule is you're over the line of scrimmage, then enforce it.
Right.
If not, don't go, well, people let you go across it a little bit. No one ever calls that,
But this is all about like having real officials or just making it all AI.
Yeah, but I get the fact that everyone is pissed. The point is the receiver's foot was clearly up past the ball. He could have just stepped back.
But
half
they
a
could say,
step.
like, oh, we've been doing this all year, though.
I
and
know.
They haven't called it. So that's why. And like in the NBA, like traveling or things like that.
Yeah, no, there's a bunch. How about the tackle on the offensive line leaving a beat early before the ball is snapped? Those guys leave. I mean, they don't go forward. They go into pass protection a beat before the ball is snapped. They don't call them offsides. Even the quarterbacks with the countdown clock, if they get to snap off a second after it goes to zero,
I always think that. I always think there is a penalty.
Right, but they let
But
you
the
have
problem
it.
is because we have instant replay, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, we got the founder and former CEO of Panera Bread, Ron Shake. He's going to join us. You want to hang in, Eric, or are we cutting
You know
Eric
what?
loose?
My wife,
His
my
pregnant
pregnant
wife is-
wife is outside,
Waiting
like,
outside.
blowing my phone up. Like, I thought you were going to be done already.
Yeah, we have not let her in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
hey, guys, thanks for having
Can't
me.
get her a little tap water?